And welcome back to the Road Show. This morning we are stargazing. 2010, as we know, was a dramatic year in Hollywood, from the shocking splits to weddings, babies, and the best in entertainment. And People magazine, they are rounding up the best and the worst of the year. People magazine writer Suzanne Zuckerman joins us now live this morning with some of the best and worst. All right, so first of all, you guys picked out your 25 most intriguing people. Tell us about a few of them right now, Suzanne.
Oh, there were so many great intriguers this year. I think starting off with Sandra Bullock, our cover star, what a year she had. Such highs, such lows. Obviously, her emerging on the cover of People magazine announcing that she had become a mom was probably the biggest news story of the year. And then, of course, we also had that great cover with Elin Nordegren, Tiger Woods' ex-wife, who spoke out for the first and only time about what it was like to go through that ordeal of his cheating scandal. Those were some of the huge stories this year. And of course, we have our Hall of Shame. So leading off the charge with that is probably Mel Gibson, whose meltdown was just such a shock.
You know, you talk a little bit about Sandra Bullock. I mean, obviously her story, I mean, it was played out in the media. I mean, why did People magazine decide to name her Woman of the Year? Some of the qualities that she has and just her story in general.
Absolutely. I mean, she's getting the best critical acclaim of her career. She won the Oscar. And then, of course, her life sort of just unraveled before our very eyes. The way she took a negative story and turned it into a positive, indeed into a triumph, was just unprecedented in terms of sort of a public relations turnaround. And everyone's rooting for Sandra, and we just can't wait to see what she does next.
I know, she is fabulous. And as we know, it is the best and the worst of the year. Let's talk about the best. There were so many weddings and babies in 2010. Kind of name a few of the ones as we look back.
So many fabulous weddings, of course. Our package on weddings starts with Nicole Richie and Joel Madden. We have these amazing exclusive photos of their Hollywood fairy tale wedding. Nicole wore not one, but 3 beautiful gowns, so look for that in the issue. Then, of course, we have country superstar and Princess Carrie Underwood, who just looked absolutely stunning in her wedding to Mike Fisher, and various other interesting and extravagant Hollywood weddings. Katy Perry and Russell Brand getting married in India with an elephant and a 4-day sort of Bollywood extravaganza. That was totally fascinating.
And a little bit about the worst, right? You mentioned Mel Gibson making into the Hall of Shame. Who else was on the list this year?
Yes. Well, Charlie Sheen, of course, made the Hall of Shame as well for that scandal that took place in New York City. And obviously also some sort of funny ones that are in our Hall of Shame that have a positive ending. The Smoking Toddler, who we're delighted to report has quit smoking with the aid of a therapist.
All right, well, we cannot wait to dig through the pages of this magazine. Suzanne, thanks so much for joining us. And People Magazine's special double issue highlighting the best and the worst of the year hits newsstands tomorrow.